Okay, who are we missing? Here's Casey.
She's having a bathroom.
Sure, she appreciates that. Good, good.
Talking about you.
Anyone else we're missing? Who's there?
Bobo's not here.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. We'll just,
They're probably taking it outside. They need to be cold break.
got it. Got it. Okay, we'll get going. So, we are meant to welcome our distinguished guest speaker at 10, is it 10:45? So we'll spend about a half hour, if you're good with that. Awesome. To talk about strategic priorities. And before we jump in there, does anybody have anything you want to ask or say or question about what we've already talked about? Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? Nothing? Nothing? Okay, cool. So for this section, instead of me showing you more graphs and charts and reports, I thought it would be better to be more conversational. And so I'm asking for your participation in this to, and I will share with you the pieces that are coming from our governing board in these particular areas. But I want to make sure that you all are aware of the strategic priorities for the near term. So we've broken these priorities into 3 categories: development, programs, operations, and admin. So development, no money, no mission. It doesn't matter how profound our mission is, how needed it is, how many families need us. If there's no money, there is no mission. So priorities for, and we've just finished this $12 million expansion, right? And now it's about caring for the core. We talked about operating revenue and expenses, right? So priorities for development in the near term. I'll keep talking until Vicki says something. No. So, so for development, here's the big strategic shift. So in the nonprofit sector, we're always trying to gain new donors, right? Everything we do, the whole model of events, telethons, direct mail appeals, it's all about getting new donors. We are making a strategic shift to a model of stewardship. So stewardship will be discussed further by Vicki and Liza, but so that you have a sense of this shift, stewardship, like being a steward of land, it's about caring for the gifts that are entrusted to us and caring for the people who have given their treasure to us. So we've undergone a lot of work in the last year and analyzed our donor base. And what we've learned is kind of what we knew all along, but what we learned in very simplistic terms is that a very small number of donors, so annually we have thousands and thousands of donors, over 5,000 gifts that might come in, right? And we have about 300 donors that give about 90% of the money to us. So a small group of folks who give the majority of support to us. Companies, foundations, individuals. Am I stealing your thunder? Okay, give me a signal if I am. So we are so busy out trying to get new money, new things, new support, new events, that we forget about these very important people. And so in this analysis, what we figured out is if we lose one of these top donors that gives us $50,000 a year, and our average donor gives us $50 a year, we have to go out and find 1,000 prospects to then earn the support of 100 people who will give us $50 or whatever that math turns out to be. So it costs a lot more money, it's a lot less efficient than it would be to regain the support, earn the support of these donors year after year, right? So for us, we looked at corporations, foundations, and individuals and analyzed their giving year over year. And we went, wow, we should stop focusing on more people and focus on the core, because the new people will come. That will happen. But we can't afford to lose these significant donors, especially after we just finished this $12 million campaign. So it's a shift in thinking for us in terms of our development work.
And it's kind of something that most nonprofits don't do this. So
Right, they don't do it.
We're unique in that we're realizing this and moving forward with it, because most nonprofits in Utah and around the country do what we have been doing about new events. Let's do this. Oh, let's do this.
Let's sell pins. Let's partner with KUTV2 and do a telethon, and let's do the jazz, and let's do this. So, stewardship. Is there more you would say in terms of this is a strategic priority? So essentially, we have mined our donor base, pulled out the most significant donors, which doesn't mean that they're better people or that they're more deserving of kindness or love or support. It means that for us to carry out our mission, we have to be mindful of these folks. And so, as a consequence, we've taken this list, we are assigning them to folks who are going to properly, proactively steward them through the year, which means connecting with them in a meaningful, authentic way, which is a total mind shift and then we're going to document it and institutionalize it, so that if the development team and we get hit by a bus, that there's a document about indicating when our most significant donor last had lunch with someone, or when they last received a birthday card, or when they last took a tour of the place, or whatever, right? What else would you say in terms of strategic priorities we have in development?
We've got a whole lot. We want to grow. Another priority is we want to grow in the community with third-party fundraisers, so that
Passive, yes.
we are not internally doing all of the fundraising. That the community is out there doing the work, raising the money, and then presenting a check to us.
So Mark Cobell at KUTV2, he does the Ride for Life for us. We don't do that much for it. We do some media, and it raises money for us. Dillard's does the cookbook. So there are a bunch of entities that do these events where we're not paying staff to sit there and carry out the work, so it's much more efficient. So third-party fund raisers and planned giving.
Planned giving is another.
Can I talk about that? So planned giving, or gift planning, as we're learning. So we received bequests this last year. So each year we receive a bequest, or sometimes we receive a bequest. Somebody passes away, they leave the charity in their will at some level. And it often happens in a passive way, but we are trying to more proactively present that opportunity to folks and to develop a program around that, so that people know that they can leave a legacy that will carry on for other families. And you all know so many of the families who have been here who have lost their children and then given gifts in their honor. I mean, we have how many rooms named after children here now? I don't even know. I want to say 10 or so. And
25.
25, okay. 25 rooms named after children living or passed on whose families made a bequest or a gift in their memory or honor. And because people have such a profound experience with us, and because of some of our past board presidents who have such a meaningful connection with the place and have been involved for a long time, I think we have a really great, ripe group of folks for potential planned gifts. The other thing I'll say is gala. So our biggest fundraiser of the year is gala, depending on where you live. And we've tried to divest this, and it just keeps growing. And so this year, the goal is $750,000. And nobody raises that kind of money in a gala, and we are, and they will. And it's unbelievable to me. So if you look at our whopping $2 million operating budget this year, that's a huge part of our budget.
Well, yeah, and so in addition to the gala, the additional development strategy is all of our revenue streams, whether it's the gala, the golf tournament, the McDonald's canisters, the Grand Givers, all of our
so that we're not overly dependent on one.
Right.
So that if Grand America falls down and we can't have gala, that we don't go, oh wow,
We have,
yikes, how are we going to pay everybody? So, yeah, diverse growth in lots of revenue streams. And that also includes earned revenue. So earned revenue is what we consider when we ask our guests to make the $20 contribution. That's categorized as earned revenue. Or Coke, if people buy a 25-cent Coke, that's earned revenue. Or if they buy a tchotchke that we sell out front, that's earned revenue. And right now, that is only about 10% of our budget. We kind of want to grow that so that we're not overly dependent on one thing. And the other area we want to grow is guest revenue. So we're serving a growing number of families who have more diverse incomes. So we're no longer only serving the most indigent families, particularly with families at our family room at Primary Children's, because they're serving families from the Wasatch Front, right? So people have the ability, and we've seen this, people who've used the room then come back and say, I want to give a $5,000 gift to stock your shelves.